Oh, okay. Let's see now. Don't worry. The whole thing's not going to be like this. Don't worry. Let me just see. Oh, this is frustrating, folks. And this is very weird because all of a sudden, now my camera is working. Okay. So, all right, the people that are in here, let me see something here. Yep. Okay. So there is sound now, right? Yay. Okay, I know the video quality is a little bit different. It's because I had everything set up to do it a different way. So here's the story real quick. I was trying to use this webcam that I'm talking to you on right now, and it just wouldn't work. And so I worked things around, and I was going to use my phone, and I was going to do all this other way, and it just decided it was going to go screwy on me. So I was desperate. I went and plugged this webcam back in, and now it works. I don't know the deal. So I'm going to probably be needing to configure things while I'm doing this. So bear with me. I know it's very dark, but it's not going to be that way the whole time. At least it shouldn't be. So there's the tank, folks. That's the one that we're going to be aquascaping today. Let me see if this will help. You would think that somebody in my position would be a bit more prepared, but trust me, I was. It's just, it all went screwy on me. So let's see. Okay. Yep. Okay. So y'all can hear me, right? All right. So here's what I want to do before we get started with the actual aquascape. And I'm going to try to move things around as much as I can to get this big glare right here out. But I want to give you a close-up of the tank. I want to tell you where I'm at. I want to tell you what I've got to work with and show you what I've got to work with. And then we'll start putting this thing together. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. The downside to this is I don't have a very long cord for my webcam. So I'm gonna try to stretch it out as far as I can. I guess I don't have to go too far. I can just kind of do all of this in my lap, but I want to get the camera closer to the tank so that you can see it better. And I had a perfect setup for that until everything went all screwy. So give me 1 second here. All right, hopefully that will help. So let me show you what I got. I mean, I'm completely out of sorts now, but let me show you what I've got to work with here, and then we'll get started aquascaping this thing. First of all is the manzanita wood. Just got this 2 days ago, showed it to you in that video in my car where I talked about doing this live aquascaping. I'm in love with this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it. It came from Houston Manzanita. I put the link to his Facebook page down below, but it's all screwed up. The description is all screwed up. I'm going to have to fix that once we're done with the actual live stream here. But this came in. This is going to be obviously one of the main focal points. And then we also got a bunch of dragonstone, and this is going to be difficult to show it all. I guess I got enough cord. So there we are. You can see the really nice big piece there. Some other pieces that are, going to be good decorative pieces around it. And then some rubble, which is probably just stone that, it kind of crumbled during shipping or something like that. Obviously, that piece right there is going to be the one that's going to be the main kind of centerpiece for the whole thing. And then everything else will go around it. So really excited about that. All this stone also came from Houston Manzanita. Again, it's going to be in the description. It's down there right now, but you got to work kind of hard to be able to figure it out. But, I'll get it fixed here as soon as we're done with this live. And then we've got the plants. I had them all set up here. It was so perfect the way I had everything set up. I hope you can still hear me okay. So I've got these covered up with paper towels because I took them out of the tank earlier. They've been in this tank since I got them. And I thought that I was going to have a little bit more freedom with this camera. But let me go through with you what we've got. That way you know what we're working with, and you can help me to place these things. So we've got a big old clump of wisteria. It's hard to show you and keep it all on camera at the same time. It's not a big old clump of wisteria, but it's nice and tall, which I love. Obviously, that's where, you know, we're going to probably want that to go in the back. We've got a couple of small bits here of crispus, some micro swords, which I'm excited about. Maybe split this guy up and spread it out a little bit. This is a red flame sword, which, you know, I just took these out of their little rock wool packaging, and the, you know, the little, I don't know, the little black bucket thing that it comes in. Just took all of these out and laid them down on here. Then we've got the Crypt Lucens, I think is how you say it. These are really cool. I'm going to have fun with these, kind of, you know, kind of a midway type thing. And then the Dwarf Sagittaria. This is one that I'm really excited about because I've heard from a lot of people that they will multiply very fast and provide almost like a nice little ground cover. Now, if you're watching this, if this is the first video of mine you've watched, or you're coming onto this hoping to see a professional aquascape, that's not what this video is, folks. If you're just signing in because you have no idea who I am and you saw it in your feed or whatever, I'm doing this with you. This is the first like real aquascape I've done. It's not like I'm, you know, creating a cure for cancer or something like that. It's not like I'm doing something big, but it's my first time doing it. And I just want to make that clear because I'm not some kind of aquascaping expert where I'm going to be able to show you all the tips and tricks on how to do this stuff. It's not that way for me. This is my first one. It's not my first planted aquarium, but it's the first time that I've actually tried to make kind of like an art project out of it. So now doing this together, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work. I'm going to basically be doing the work, and then I will check on the chat to see if you all are making any kind of suggestions. People are saying dwarf sag is a savage plant. Well, that's what I like. I like plants that are easy and that are going to take over the joint. That's what I want. And that's what I told Corey that I wanted, was stuff that's easy and stuff that's going to spread really fast, because I like that full tank look. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Plus, shrimp are going to go in here, so I want there to be plenty of places for those shrimp to just go crazy and go wild. So, all right, so let's get started with this thing. Obviously, I'm going to try here. Let me do something. I'm setting up my ghetto camera stand. Shouldn't say ghetto. That might offend some people. But there we go. As the whole thing crashes down, I'm going to try to see if I can get this phone or this webcam on a stand. Will it reach? Yes. Okay. So that's good. We're closer to the tank. We're crooked. Let's see. Bear with me. I promise, folks, I had this all set up before, and now it's definitely not. Come on, girl. Okay, so hopefully I can get through this without bumping it. And yeah, that's true, Money Mike. What doesn't offend people anymore? Man, that is so true. The cool thing about doing this way is that I can vape and nobody's going to yell at me because you won't be able to see me. You see, I'm sneaky like that. So, Money Mike, that'll probably offend people too, huh? Okay, so now I want to start. Let me get this pulled up here so I can see what I'm doing in the camera, because I'm actually going to be looking at this in the camera as well as, you know, in person, obviously, because I want to see how it's going to look on camera. And you get to get a little look at the reef tank while you're sitting here, and you can see how dirty it is. But going to start off, I have a general idea of how I want this thing to lay out. Obviously, that large piece of dragonstone is going to go towards the center, and then I want the piece of wood to kind of be behind it. Let me see what I can do with this microphone. I don't even know if I need to move the microphone. Nope, I'm not going to move the microphone. That's just not going to happen. All right, so I'm going to start off by getting the dog hair off of this wood. And of course, the way I had this planned, it's probably not going to work because the tank is, of course, a little smaller than I anticipated. So yeah, my plans are already shot. So yeah, that's disappointing. So I don't want this piece to be covered up. I'm telling you what, this piece of wood is almost perfect size for this tank, isn't it? Okay. Well, I don't think that looks half bad, does it? I don't think it looks terrible just like that. I mean, how else is it going to go, really? I don't know. Let's see. Is it going to look any different? Will it look better? No, I like the other way better. What do you think? Nice? Okay. Now, this is the big daddy. This is the one I'm excited about. And the place that I had anticipated it to go, it's not going to go because of the wood. So let's see. You know what? Let's do the stone. Well, we got to do them kind of together. Maybe this is why people don't typically do these live. It's a lot of trial and error, and this is why I was kind of hesitant to do this live. But then again, I thought, why not? I mean, it'll be fun because it's something new for me. And if you're thinking about doing an aquascape of your own, then you know, maybe you can get something out of this by watching me and seeing what I go through. Now, what I'm afraid of here, see, this is a bummer. I have this vision, but of course in the vision, you know, there's unlimited space in the tank. So once you start putting things in the tank, things get much, much smaller, of course. Uh-oh, we might be onto something there. Put the back facing the front so it looks like it's coming out of the rocks. What's that mean? You know, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What about that? Stop moving it. You had it good. Yeah. Somebody says you're onto something. I think we are here. I kind of like what we're looking at right now. Of course, it's hard to see it because now the water's gotten all foggy. You know what? This has disaster written all over it. Yeah, great idea, John. Do this live so that everybody can see how much of a screw up you are. Now, folks, this is what I'm thinking. You can't really see it, and I can't really get the camera close enough that I know of to show you. But there is a space right here behind the rock that I think would be a perfect location for that wisteria to come up above the rocks. And then maybe something else back here. And then, of course, that ground cover we can kind of fill in. It's not ground cover, but the plants that are going to kind of carpet things, we can, of course, put those up front. That's what I'm thinking. But it's hard for you to see because the water's gotten all murky now. The stick is too big. The shrimp are going to climb out. It's got a nice lid on it. They're not coming out. They're not coming out. Did you ever try that pump idea I gave you to clear up the water? Nope, I didn't. The water was clear. It was perfectly clear before I did this. I took all the plants out, took all the water out because I wanted it to be easier to do this. And now here we are. The shrimp are not going to climb out, folks. There is a solid lid that goes on here. They're not coming out. Don't worry. I appreciate the concern, but they're not coming out. And I'm also, I'm going to need to put something over this. Obviously, there's one on the bottom too, which you can't see now because it's all dirty. But I'm going to put like a screen over that so that the shrimp can't get back there too. So that'll definitely help it. So I guess it's time to, I don't know that we're going to fit any more rocks in here. This is kind of a small tank with that big piece of wood. I don't know that there's really any more room for any more of these rocks because they're all a pretty decent size. Might be able to. Some of these real hardcore aquascapers are going to end up watching this because that's what we do. We watch other people's videos, right? And they're going to be like, oh my God, this guy is a complete disaster. And you know what? They'd be right. Okay, so I showed you all the plants that I have. The wisteria, I really do think is going to look good in that back section there. And I know that this is a plant that can get totally out of control. I'm going to have to move this stone to be able to get back there and put it back there. It'll still get plenty of light back there. I can see it. I can see the light. I see the light. Oh boy. See, I like that. Don't have the branch. Okay, everybody keeps talking about the shrimp are going to get out. They're not going to get out. This is not an open top tank. I know they're sneaky little devils, but they're not going to get out. All right, so I'm going to go with, I'm not even really sure why I'm doing this live anymore because you can't even see it. It's unfortunate. It's going to be something I'm probably going to end up just deleting because you can't even see what I'm doing. But 134 of you are here, so we're having some fun, right? I hope so. And of course, a lot of this is just kind of trial and error because at the end of the day, I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to these plants. Corey's going to watch this, and he's probably going to be like, John, what have you done with my plants? Get that red flame out of there. I don't know. But if he does, I'll listen to him because he knows what he's talking about, and I don't. Yeah, this is turned into quite the disaster, hasn't it? I'm gonna let me think here. The Crispus, I'm gonna put in this other corner because I have those in my 125, and I know how tall they get. They get nice and tall and big. So I'm gonna put those in the back. This back corner back here. Now, if you didn't watch my other video that I did about the substrate, I'm using Floramax from Caribsea is the substrate that I have in here with some black sand mixed in. Okay, so there is that, which you can't see. Doesn't it look beautiful? You can't even see it. Let's see. Now it's telling me I'm unable to connect to the chat, which is just lovely because this is supposed to be about the chat. So let me check this here. Okay, so now I'm back on the chat. Opinions are like a-holes. Everyone has one. Yep. Take the water out. I mean, yeah, I guess I could take the rest of the water out. Yeah, sure. Why not? Of course, it's going to take me a minute because I was not prepared to do that. So who said that? Bilal Adam. Is it? Yeah. Took a genius to figure that out, huh? I should have been able to figure that out a while ago. Just take the rest of the water out. I don't even have a bucket to put it in, but I got a little container here. And when it gets full, I will take the rest of it out. So as we wait, I think, what do you all think? I think this looks nice. And maybe you'll be able to see it a little better once the water's out. But I like the wisteria in the back. I'm hoping Corey doesn't hit me up and say, hey, that shouldn't be behind a rock. It needs more light than that. I don't know. But I like that in the back. I think that looks good. Of course, the siphon hose is blocking it now, but I think that looks nice. The Crispus, again, I'm familiar with that plant. It gets really big, and I think it's going to look good in that back corner. A little bit concerned about it getting sucked to the overflows. I don't know. We'll have to play that by ear. The rest are kind of not really carpeting plants. They're not tiny plants, but they're obviously going to be, you know, what, foreground, mid-ground, front ground. I don't know what all the grounds are, but I guess one of the downsides too is going to be there's going to be a lot of glare, but you'll still be able to see what's going on. Wonder what would happen if I opened this light up again, or this window. No, that's good. As much of a fiasco as this has been, I got to tell y'all, it means a lot that 134 people are still here watching. It's pretty cool of y'all. We're almost there. You can see it a lot better now, so that's good. The Crispus, of course, isn't standing up. Kind of a flimsy plant. I mean, again, if this is new to y'all, as far as my videos, well, this is new to me too. So when I refer to these things, I'm not referring to them as a professional or as an expert on these plants. I'm referring to them as a newbie that has just basically started his first aquascape. So know that going in. If you came to receive expert advice, you have not come to the right video. So, okay. So you can see where I put the red flame sword right there, which I like. It'll be kind of that centerpiece. It's going to get, you know, the big green red type leaves. Excited about that. The Crispus in the back corner. Let's see if I can do this. There is a Crispus right there, and you can see it goes almost to the top of that 125. So the Crispus gets pretty tall if you're new to plants, and it's one that I happen to like a lot. So that's going to look nice in that back corner, opposite side of the wisteria, which is also a big plant. And I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of people say that wisteria can get pretty out of control. And so that might become a problem back there behind that stone. I don't know. But the cool thing about all of this is that we can just kind of move things around and have fun with it. I don't know. So let's get back into this here. We've got the micro swords, the Crypt Lucens, and the Dwarf Sagittaria left. I want the Dwarf Sag to go in the front. Everybody, a lot of people had quite a few things to say about those in the beginning, but I don't care because I think it's cool. The Lucens, I'm thinking here and here. That's what I'm thinking. There's two big clumps, which I suppose I could take apart and propagate them or whatever. Is that what you call it? But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna keep them just like that. And of course, these will stand up more once we get them wet. Now I'm gonna go there and here. Starting to see a lot of green in this. The micro sword is something that I'm excited about, just because it looks like grass. It's cute. I'm going to use this right here, and then I'm going to spread that Dwarf Sag out in the front. And then I have water to fill this up. Fresh water. Now all this Dwarf Sag here, I took them, this is 2 bundles, which gave me quite a bit, which I will just spread out because I do want it to kind of cover the front of the tank and give like almost like a carpeting look. I know there's other plants that will do that. Corey and I talked about it. I told him I wanted kind of a carpeting type plant. And he suggested these because of the tank, because of my situation, because of what I have, the lighting, the lack of CO2. I know that almost all of these plants would do a lot better if I had CO2, and maybe someday I will. But right now I don't. This tank, I did not go and buy this tank. This tank was sent to me without me asking for it. I'm not bragging about it. I'm simply saying that because this is unplanned. And so I'm not going to go and buy an elaborate CO2 system. I call them elaborate because I don't know anything about them, but I'm not going to do that when I wasn't prepared for that. This isn't something that I've been saving up for months and months and months. It's just, I've just kind of worked with what I've got and with what I could order from Corey and Houston Manzanita and all of that. So I don't know how it looks on here, but I'm pretty excited about the way it looks in person. I'm not going to lie to you. This is pretty daggone fancy, and it's going to look ridiculous with a million little shrimp from Flip Aquatics swimming around and climbing around in this thing. It's going to be a blast. This tank, I'm going to put the pure red line crystal shrimp in here, the red and white ones. Really excited about that. And I might even mix in some of the blue tigers, royal blue tigers. So I don't know, on camera it actually looks pretty good. Put that sage in the discus tank. I'll move some of it over there once it grows and spreads out. How about that? I want it in here because I want this to be full. That was the whole thing. I wanted a very green tank. I want a tank like you see Dustin has and Jacob and Corey. Now you're thinking, what in God's name is John doing? Well, that's my bucket of water that I'm going to be putting into this tank, and I'm going to do it slowly. And I learned that this is the easiest way to do it without disturbing the substrate. So that's going to fill up. And while it does, we can talk. All right. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. This is okay. Oh, that looks nice, huh? Oh, technology is grand. I just love it. So, okay, so let's just talk. Let's just do it. I am not a professional aquascaper. I'm not somebody that's going to start doing expert plant videos. I'm not somebody that has a business selling live plants. This is something I'm doing totally for fun. Like I told you before, I didn't ask for this tank. It just showed up at my door one day. It was a Christmas present. It's a beautiful thing. Life is good, right? But I didn't ask for it. So I wasn't prepared for it. So I'm kind of, right after getting the tank, I got in contact with Houston Manzanita. I got in contact with Corey, started talking, what can we do? How can we, set this up on the cheap, very nice for fun. That's the whole point to this thing. And so far, with the exception of me making the huge mistake that I made with the substrate, it has been a lot of fun. This has been a blast. I mean, it's something that's very eye-opening for me, something brand new for me. I've never had Manzanita wood, 23 years of fish keeping, never had it. I've never had Dragonstone that I'm aware of. I might have had some before, I just didn't know it. I've never used this substrate before. This is a brand new tank that just hit the market. All of these things are brand new. And so this is extremely fun for me, along with this, which I don't know why there's so many air bubbles blowing. I do know why. The protein skimmer's full. But the reef tank and this tank, this is all brand new stuff for me. So if I'm talking like I'm bragging or anything like that, I hope you're not taking it that way, because I'm certainly not. I'm talking because this is fun for me. I'm enjoying this. And it's something that has happened over the course of the last 7 or 8 months where I've been exploring new things. There's people I've even heard, or not heard, but seen people in the chat comment about how they came to my channel because I was an African cichlid channel. And you might be, I don't think anybody said this, but you might be a little bit disappointed because all of a sudden now I'm talking about these fancy aquascapes and reef tanks. I hope you're not disappointed. I hope that when you see me exploring these new things like this, I hope it's just as much fun for you as it is me, because that's what this hobby is all about. It's about doing new things, maybe even getting outside of your comfort zone, doing things that kind of revitalize the hobby for you. And this little combo right here on this desk and my guppy tank have definitely done that. So I don't know. I was just trying to clear that up a little bit. I hope I didn't send that, the wrong message there. John, how much money in those plants in the tank? They're about $80 worth of plants, I think. And that's from Aquarium Co-op. And of course, you get a nice discount, 10%, if you put Tank Talk in the promo box. So $80. And let me tell you a little bit about these plants, folks. I don't know if I mentioned it in the live stream or not. Last night was a lot of fun with Flip Aquatics. But anyway, these plants came in last week. They were supposed to get to me on Thursday. I was at work, but Lisa was going to accept them, and life was going to be good, right? Well, it was about 18 degrees that day, and for whatever reason, the plants didn't show up. Between Seattle and here, I think there might have been some weather. Corey's in Seattle. Aquarium Co-op is in Seattle, or right outside of Seattle. So I think that there was some weather and it got delayed. It's not Aquarium Co-op's fault. It's the stupid Postal Service's fault. Or if you want to, I guess you could blame Mother Nature. But I didn't get the plants until Friday. They were supposed to be here Thursday. Got them Friday. You can imagine that the plants were pretty daggone cold when I got them. The box, it was an insulated box. They were packaged very well, which I've received 3 orders of plants from Aquarium Co-op, and they're always packed beautifully. I've never had any problems at all once unboxing the plants and everything. They've always been really nice and healthy and happy right out of the box. This one I was nervous about, I'm going to be honest, because they're sitting out there. It's 18 degrees, and they're probably sitting in some tarmac somewhere. I was nervous. And when I got them, I opened up the box. It was, the heat pack had done its thing. It had come and gone. It was very, very, very cold, and I was really nervous. I do remember talking about this in the live stream, because I said they were practically frozen. They weren't practically frozen, but they were very, very cold. The plants were. Okay, this bucket's empty. Let me get the next one started, and then we'll get back to this. Yeah, put the siphon hose right on your chair, John. That's smart. Okay, so that's annoying. So I was expecting the worst, but let me tell you, yes, I am using RO water in this tank. It's shocking to me how well these plants have done. Even with that, I mean, they were extremely cold, and look how good they look. I mean, you can't see it ultimately right now because we've got a BS light up top and it's only halfway full of water. But when this thing is done, I'm going to get as close as I can to show you the tank up close. They look fantastic. These plants look fantastic. They're bright. They look happy. And it's not because I'm a good aquarium keeper. It's because, I mean, I've only had them for a week, It's because they came that way. And I'm not saying this because I have a relationship with Corey. I'm saying it because it's true. I mean, they're good plants. What can I say? So I've had very good success with him, with Aquarium Co-op, being a new plant person. I don't know if I can even call myself a plant person yet, but being somebody that's getting my first batches of plants, I've had very good success with him. So I would definitely recommend him to anybody. And again, put Tank Talk in the promo box. You get a 10% discount. Stop apologizing, John. You just tell it like it is. I personally have to thank you. I got a Fluval Evo like yours because you inspired me to get past my fear of salt water. Still have to set it up. Yeah, you know what, Liz? It is a scary thing. It's a scary thing because it's expensive. It's scary because it's a new world. It's scary because you think you know a lot about fish keeping, and then you get into saltwater and realize you know nothing. I mean, it is intimidating, but let me just tell you, just do it. I mean, I had my fish only saltwater tank for about 6 months before I set this up. And I think that did help me because it got me used to getting the water mixed and, you know, getting the right salt mixture and all of that to get the salinity at the right place. So I kind of got my feet wet with that. And then it was easier to do this and to start testing for other things and all of that. So you just got to do it. I mean, you've got the tank already, so just do it. What are you waiting for? Yeah, reverse osmosis water. That is the RO. That's what RO stands for. I don't sell fish overseas because I don't sell fish at all. I mean, you got enough money in your hand to come here. You can buy some of these fish from me if you want, but okay, what kind of lights will work? Well, I'm just using the lights that come with this. It's a 7500K light. That's what comes with it. Let me scroll back here, see if I missed anything good. Got my feet wet with saltwater tank. Yeah, well, that's I know that sounds funny. Not too picky, eh? Home Depot and Lowe's. Hey, don't you pick on my Home Depot and Lowe's buckets. I would love to see the shrimp in there. You'll see the shrimp, Dean. You'll see them very soon. The tank's not ready for shrimp yet. I mean, my guppy tank is, and Rob and I were talking about that last night. I might get some shrimp from him, order some cheap ones, because I'm not picky. I mean, even if he wants to sell me culls, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I could throw him a couple bucks for each one, whatever. He might go ahead and send me some, which I will put in the 5-gallon. What I was thinking about doing was moving the guppies into here after a little bit of time has passed. And then, wow, we ran out of water. But let the guppies kind of cycle this tank and all of that. Once it's closer, I don't want them to go into that tank right in the middle of an ammonia spike. Come on, I'm not cruel. And just put the shrimp in the 5-gallon and then maybe move the guppies back. I don't know. He was telling me yesterday not to put shrimp with guppies. I mean, I'm going to listen to the guy because he's Rob. But so we have a problem. Here's the problem that we have. And this is a huge problem for a live video. I don't have any more water. I had 10 gallons and had it ready because I took 10 gallons out. Well, you all made me take the rest of the water out. Now I don't have any water left. So I'm going to have to go grab some, which means I'm going to have to step away for a second. So let me go get some more water, and then I will come back and get this thing filled up. And then I'll put the real light on there, and we'll see how this thing really looks. Be right back. All right, that didn't take too long. Now, if I get to run in my mouth, y'all need to tell me if this thing's going to overflow. Okay, so we're almost there. I got to tell you, folks, I am really, really liking the way this looks. Honestly, this is all so new to me that I'm just happy to see green in the tank. I guess I'm going to have to get a plant to attach to that wood, huh? Make me a little bonsai tree in there. Okay. Cichlids will destroy plants. I'm not putting cichlids in there. Shrimp are not cichlids. I'm messing with you, Joe. But no, I'm not putting cichlids in there. It's a 13-gallon tank. Or were you saying that in response to somebody else? I don't know. I would love to see it with shrimp in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've already gotten to that one. He talked about that with Rob. Okay, so I forgot. I am not current here. Do you have problems with temperature in your sump? No, not at all. I've got 3 400-watt heaters in there. So, no, I don't have any problems in there at all. Not your day, John. Yeah, it's been rough. Thank you for noticing. I have a feeling you're going to get distracted. It's going to overflow. I'm going to try not to. The good thing is I can see it while I'm looking at the computer screen, so hopefully that's not what happens. Put a pistos in there. Now, I mean, the plan is chili rasboras and the shrimp. That's the plan. And I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, we're almost there. Y'all are sitting there waiting. You're like, ooh, this is going to be funny. It's going to overflow. No, it's got a long way to go. But I'm going to let it, I mean, I only let it go up to the black mesh type stuff. I let it go about a ½ an inch above that. So it's not going to get, it's not going to overflow. How do you keep your fish room heated? I don't. I heat the tanks. Well, I mean, it's heated from the house. But all my tanks have heaters in them. This has the Fluval heater in it. This one has a cobalt heater in it. My guppy tank has an Aqueon heater in it. The 240 has 3 400-watt Aqueons in it. I mean, I've got a 400-watt, or no, those are 300-watt heaters. I'm sorry. I've got a 400-watt in the 125 with the discus. That's a Marine Land. I've got a bunch of heaters. I mean, I do have a space heater down here, but that's for me. That's not for the tanks. The tanks stay plenty warm. Can I use grape wood in my aquarium? Not the guy to ask that, Armando. I don't know. So I'm not going to answer you because I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Now, how long before you can put shrimp in there right away? No, I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to let it cycle. And then once it's cycled, I'm going to probably put the fish in first. Because they're a little less delicate than the shrimp. And then I'll put the shrimp in. So it could be some time. It's been running about 2 weeks now. I am in the ammonia stage, which is good. You know, it's advancing. The plants are going to help and everything else. But I wanted to get it some good life in there before I put shrimp in it. Hope that makes sense. So, yep, we're getting to be about that time. How about it? I don't know how well. This is really hard to do that. Look at that. That is quite the transformation, isn't it? So we've got all of the dwarf sage up front, the lucens on the end, the crypt lucens on each end of that. There's a white string, which I'll be taking out. We've got the micro swords. Daggone it, it's really hard holding this camera. The micro swords there in the center. There we go. And then the, what is that called? The red flame sword behind it. The crypts in the back. And then the wisteria behind this. I don't know what y'all think, but I love it. I love it. Let me turn the filter on, get some water moving in there, and it's probably not going to change the look of it, but I'm absolutely in love. Come on, girl. Wrong one. There we are. So now we've got some water movement in there. I love it. What do y'all think? Let's see what people are saying. Woo, nice, love it. Look real nice in a few months. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, but it's going to look even better when everything fills in. Absolutely. That red flame sword will kind of stand up a little bit more. At least I think it does. Yeah, I might adjust things a little bit, but I like it. I like the way it looks right now. I think it's going to be really full. Maybe stick something back behind the stones between the wood and the crypts, which you can't even see the crypts back there, but they're back there. I don't even know if I have any space back there to do it, but I love it. I'm loving the way it looks. I don't know. That's my first like real art project. So there's Stebbs. So yeah. So that's that. That is the fiasco. That is aquascaping. Looks like a pro aquascaping. I don't know about that, but that sure is nice of you to say. John, you may need algae eaters down the line. Yeah. I don't know how well those go with shrimp though. I didn't ask Rob about that last night. I would normally have a light on me here, folks, but the light is actually right there. So I don't want to turn that on and it'll flood everything out. But I didn't ask Rob about like bristlenose plecos, but he did talk about ottos are okay. So I might go with ottos in there. But then again, you know, shrimp love algae too. They're not going to clean it off of the glass, but you know, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, I know the shrimp are going to do a good job cleaning it off of the wood and the rocks and all that kind of stuff. So it might not be a problem. And if it's on the glass, I'll just clean that off with my hands. So Corey keeps certain plecos with his. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can talk to Corey about it too. Ottos. I know ottos are good. Bristlenose will be fine. Okay. There you go. And that's from LR Bretts. That man knows what he's talking about. So Amano shrimp can eat hair algae. Okay. Looks better than the discus tank. You don't have to say JK. I mean, it's smaller, so it's easier to decorate. You know, if I put this same amount of plants in the 125, it would look like there's no plants in there. So that one is taking some time to get filled in, but there's a lot of plants that are really, really expanding in there. And, you know, I think that Corey and we're going to have to do another round on that tank because yeah, there's some plants that are growing in really well and others that are what they are. So yeah, that's a project for another day. So I don't know. I don't know really what more there is to say about this, folks. We've got 150 people in there now, which, you know, it'd be a shame to cut things off now, wouldn't it? But we're done. So, and unfortunately with the situation with the webcam, I had a USB extension and I couldn't get it to work. So I was going to be able to put the webcam right up in the tank and everything for you all to see it, but didn't really work out. So listen, I'm going to go ahead and shut things down here. Don't forget this wood and this dragonstone, which I didn't even use all the dragonstone. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this. It's just 2 small pieces like this and then some rubble. This came from Houston Manzanita. If you're a member of the Tank Talk Facebook group, there are members in there. Go over there. There's also a link in the description of this video for that. Check him out. You can message him and say, hey, you know, I'm thinking about adding some Dragonstone. How much will I need? Blah, blah, blah. And he'll actually work with you. He'll send you pictures of what he thinks would be good for your tank and all of that. It's really, really cool. He'll work with you, and you'll know what your stone is going to look like before you order it. I knew that with this. He sent me pictures of a whole bunch of different configurations, and I said, I want number 7, and he sent me number 7. So that was very cool. The wood is the same way. This Manzanita wood, he sent me like a collage of a bunch of different pieces of wood. And I said, you know, I want number 16 or whatever it is. And that's the one he sent. So it's very cool that you can do that. A lot of times, and I understand why it's this way, but a lot of retailers, they'll have a generic picture of Dragonstone or a generic picture of Manzanita wood, and they'll say, you know, actual item may vary. I get it. I understand that. This guy takes it to the next level, and he'll actually show you what you're getting before you order it. I thought that was really cool and something that should definitely be pointed out. Good luck continuing to do that when he gets super huge, though, because that's going to be tough to still be able to maintain that level. But I hope he does. I hope he maintains that level of customer service because it's great. So definitely check those out. And, of course, Aquarium Co-op. That's where all these plants came from. They were stuck on a frozen tarmac overnight, folks, and they still look fantastic. So very excited about that. You know I got a lot of love for Corey. Of course I do. So, yeah, very cool. This was a blast. Even though it was a complete fiasco, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I appreciate you all coming out and hanging out with me here. Probably would have had a lot more fun if I didn't do it on live stream, but, you know, hey, there you go. It is what it is. I thought it would be something that would be fun to share with you. So on that note, folks, thank you all so much for hanging out. kgtropicals.com. Don't forget, I'm sorry for all of the disaster that was the beginning of this video, but there you go. We'll see you next time.